My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video, and I hope you're all doing well out there. We've got a very interesting thing to talk about today, because as we know, we've got the midterms coming up in the United States right now, and the Republican Party has chosen a very, very interesting and very peculiar strategy for how they plan to, I guess, win the midterm elections that are coming up. And none of it has anything to do with running on any policy that the Republican Party has. Instead, it involves getting involved in bullshit made-up culture wars that aren't really happening, and using that as a platform to run on. It's a very interesting thing with these Republicans, because truly, as a Republican this year in the United States in the midterm elections, what is it that you would actually run on? That's what I'm having trouble figuring out, my friends. I mean, the actual economy is on fire, with small businesses closing all over the place. We get bad job numbers right before the midterm elections. People are losing their jobs. We've got, my God, we've got gas so expensive you can't afford the shit. The grocery prices are out of control. Economically, it's a complete shit show over here. You've got healthcare being cut to people. SNAP benefits are being cut, while the Republican Party eats steak and lobster and tells you, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We're in an endless war that we're never going to get out of. Iran has basically said they're going to at least hold Donald Trump hostage through the midterms, and not literally hostage, just metaphorically. They're going to keep him involved in this war at least until the midterms is over, and possibly until we have another president. We have the ICE Gestapo running through the streets of America, gunning down American citizens and then accusing them of being aggressive. And what I'm trying to tell you is the whole United States is basically on fire right now. And that, my friends, has happened because the Republican Party is in control of every branch of the government, and they're a bunch of incompetent dipshits that hate America, by the way, and are hell-bent on punishing the American people in any way that they can. But also, you need to know that they want you to vote for them in the upcoming midterm elections. That would really mean a lot to them. After they've destroyed everything around you, they'd really, really appreciate your fucking vote, my friends. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because, boy, I would not want to be a Republican today running on this fucking record where they allowed Donald Trump to do whatever he wanted. They knew that what Donald Trump was doing was bad, and they decided they would go ahead and go along with it anyways, to prove their loyalty to Donald Trump instead of prove their loyalty to the United States. And now, with the record that they have produced, they have to stand in front of the American people and ask for our vote. You know why they have to ask for our vote? Because every attempt they've made to fuck us over in these upcoming elections has completely failed, my friends. They have tried gerrymandering the shit out of the red states, only to see that it looks like a lot of that is going to backfire in a few different ways. California responded with their Prop 50. Also, when the Republicans gerrymandered Texas, they were betting on the Latino vote that helped carry Donald Trump's victory in Texas to once again help them secure more seats during the gerrymandering of Texas. And it turns out, when you start kicking in doors and arresting people's family members and showing up at construction sites and arresting people there, it turns out the Latino population doesn't really appreciate that a lot, and that's about to all fucking blow up in their faces too. They can't get the what's the goddamn bill, the Save America Act, passed because they simply do not have enough votes, while they scream about how the Democrats, the evil Democrats, are the ones keeping them from doing anything. And basically, they have tried every way possible, not possible yet. Don't get me wrong, the midterms aren't here, and Donald Trump has not yet marched the ICE Gestapo onto our voting booths yet, but that part's still yet to come. But using every mechanism that they could so far, they failed to do anything to stop us from voicing our opinion, using our voices, what I mean to say. And now they have to stand in front of the American people and ask for our vote. And I want to talk to you guys today about the absolutely goofy shit they are running with to try to scare the living shit out of the dumbest of the American people to continue to vote for them. Because let me tell you, this Republican bullshit has reached an all-time high level of stupidity, and I really don't believe the American people are going to fall for it. You see, we have to come to terms with the economic reality that we live in, instead of worrying about the boogeyman that the Republican Party wants us to be afraid of. So we're going to talk about that real quick before I get into all the bullshit that the Republicans are doing to try to secure this next election victory. I wanted to take just a second to thank you all for all the support you provide to my channel in every way that you do. I really do appreciate it. As basically a nobody from rural Colorado, from a single wide trailer out there, I always am surprised at how many people around the world watch my videos and listen to what I'm doing. I mean, this channel is like way bigger than the town I was born in by a fucking long shot. It's absolutely insane. And I want you guys to know that I appreciate everything you do, from watching the videos, leaving a comment on them, leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it out to your social media. Every bit of that counts and helps sort of spread the message to more folks, hopefully like me from my upbringing, that can find that bravery and say, oh yeah, fuck Donald Trump, because that would be very important to the United States if we could start getting that kind of message out there. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck fascism, fuck the Republican Party, and give us back our goddamn rights, you sons of bitches, and stop burning books, for fuck's sake. What is wrong with you? What's going on with you guys? Also, thank you to everyone that does the super chats, super thanks, and channel memberships. I appreciate you so much for your support with that, and my personal favorite, the Buy Me a Coffee link that you can find in the description and pinned comment of every video. If you'd like to make a donation there, I understand money's tight for everyone, so don't feel bad if you can't. A lot of people tell me, they say, Josh, I'd love to, but I can't. Look, I don't blame you at all. That's fine. I appreciate you being here is enough, is what I'm trying to tell you. But they only take 5% from that if you make a donation over there. Appreciate everything you guys do. So back to the point, shall we? The Republicans have lost their fucking minds, my friends, and it is absolutely insane, and to a point kind of actually glorious to watch, as all the things they've got away with for all these years, where they scare the shit out of the American people and offer no policy whatsoever, but they rely on the fear and ignorance and stupidity of so many Americans to keep themselves in power, appears to not really be working now, because like I said earlier in the video, people have to come to terms with the economic reality that they live in, and it is a fucking nightmare out there for so many Americans. So we're gonna talk about that. Let me try to get to the fucking point. So of course, as you guys know, we're in the middle of the Red Scare with the Republican Party right now, right, where they're freaking the fuck out about how everyone is a communist. And I think this is kind of one of the goofiest things that I've ever fucking seen, because truly, like, a lot of Americans don't know the exact definition of a communist, and that's why they get away with it for such a long time. And look, I'll raise my hand to that and say, yeah, I've looked up the definition of communist because I was curious, and when it was right in front of my head, right in front of me, my face, I meant to say, in front of my head's fine, I don't care, then it made sense to me what it was. But if you asked me to define the shit off the top of my head, I'd fuck it up. I absolutely would. And that's what they're depending on, is everybody just not knowing what a communist is. By the way, there's no communist in the United States coming for you. Just chill the fuck out. It's absolutely insane. But they're relying on that the ignorance of the American people with the whole communist thing. And it's such a goofy fucking thing, because it's really the only response they have to anything right now. Donald Trump was holding a rally a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I'm not really sure, where a heckler in the crowd started shouting at Donald Trump that he's a pedophile protector, right? Which at very least Donald Trump is. That is a 100% factual statement. It is Donald Trump that is instructing the Epstein files to be hidden from the public. That's what they're doing. And I know I've got some cousin fucking MAGA dork in the comment section right now going, well, why didn't Joe Biden, goddammit, because every problem they have is Joe Biden, right? Well, there was an active open investigation, I believe, into Ghislaine Maxwell during the Biden administration, which by law, as far as I understand it, prohibited him from actually putting out the Epstein files to the public, right? So what you're asking is why Joe Biden wasn't breaking the law. And if you're looking for a president that is open to breaking the law any chance he gets, stop looking to fucking Joe Biden. Tell Donald Trump to do the shit. What are you talking about? But we've already got the whatever Transparency Act or what have you passed, and Donald Trump is still hiding that shit. So at very least, the statement that he's a pedophile protector is 100% true. And you guys know what Donald Trump said about that shit? He said, oh, it's a communist. There's a communist over here. That was his rebuttal to being called out to his face for what he truly is. And they are really, really hoping that the communist thing is going to stick, and that's going to be enough to help swing the vote into their favor, right? But they realize that the Americans, like I said earlier in the video, I know I repeat myself a lot, but sometimes repeating shit is how you get it through fucking people's heads out there, and not my normal viewers. You're all very smart, right? But MAGA hate watches me. You need to understand that. And repetition, repeating the same thing over and over and over again, well, that's how they ended up fucking MAGA. So maybe if I repeat myself sometimes, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened, my friends. So anyways, like I said, they have to come to terms with the reality that the economy is not good, right? It is really, really fucking bad. You could look at it in any way you want, just the job losses, the deficit, the endless war. I mean, the list goes on and on. Grocery prices, everything is just a fucking nightmare for the American people. So even shouting communist over and over really isn't going to achieve the desired results, right? And I would love, my friends, you guys remember when I first started this channel and I was kind of warning of what was coming to because of Donald Trump, and I was warning more as a truck driver that already lived through Donald Trump's America once and watched everything go to hell. And you guys remember I was warning for what was to come, and I've been pretty fucking accurate on a lot of those predictions. And I had so many truckers like 2 months into Donald Trump's term that were running to me going, "You're full of shit. Donald Trump's the president and I'm making the most money I've ever had." I'd love to hear from those people right now to see what they have to say. They're strangely quiet these days, my friends, and if they are loud, they're fucking lying is what's going on. But the point I'm trying to make is they have now moved on from the communist thing, which I don't think they'll move on from. Oh, sorry, it was just, I just washed my hair and I just happened to grab some with my hand. I'm like, oh, that feels nice. So you guys got to watch me play with my hair in the video, I guess, because I'm like, that feels really good and that's nice. Anyways, back to the goddamn point. I'm easily distracted, my friends. I distract myself regularly with bullshit like that, with touching myself, apparently. I don't know. I have no idea why these videos are like they are. I'm just along for the ride with you. Anyways, they have pulled out Old Faithful is what I'm trying to tell you, which is the whole point of the video that I'm trying to get to. Knowing that the shouting communist thing isn't really going to do very well for them, they have started reaching back into the old culture wars that they have always done, right? And the one that they're really, really starting to lean heavily into right now is the big old scary transgender community, my friends. Because what it is, it's unfortunate, it really fucking is because the transgender community is such a small, very microscopic minority in this country. It's easy for them to be the whipping boy for the Republican Party, because really, who's going to come to their rescue? Who's really going to defend them with them being such a small group, right? Well, what they're finding out from a lot of us, like people like me and people like you, is that we don't fucking like bullies and we're sick of your shit, right? But they think that they can harass the ever-loving shit out of this this entire community, this entire demographic, and get away with it, is the point that I'm making. And they have made a ton of Americans absolutely terrified of the transgender community out there, and it is the goofiest shit that I've ever heard in my life, my friends. Now, I've always told you guys, I don't have an understanding of what transgender is. Now, before you get your pitchforks out and come after me, at least hear me out on what I have to say about that. I feel that it's above my head. This is more a thing that needs to be understood better by maybe the medical community, things like that. And my friends, I'm just a humble fucking trucker, so if you asked me to explain what transgender is, I could honestly look at you and say, I don't fucking know. I don't have a clue. It's over my head, right? Which a lot more people need to do in this country. Just say, I don't fucking know. It's not something that I understand, right? But saying that I don't understand something about it doesn't mean that it's less deserving of my respect, right? I live in the United States. Under the Constitution of the United States, every person here deserves equal rights and equal freedom, and we need to come to the terms, this country needs to come to the terms with the fact that sometimes people are just not the fucking same as us, and that's okay. They don't deserve to be treated with any less respect, any less rights, and or anything like that. Unless, you know, it's like it's a what do they call it? Like an individual basis. If somebody's a shithead to me, I will 100% match their fucking energy. But to hate an entire group is the stupidest shit that I've ever heard in my life, my friends. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with these people, but anyways, they have turned this transgender transgender culture war into one of the goofiest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm sorry that it's taken me almost 15 minutes to get here. You can tell I'm like bursting at the seams and ready to make fun of this shit, right? But they have now started talking about the WNBA. It's the goofiest shit that I've ever heard in my fucking life, right? There's always a transgender boogeyman somewhere hiding around the corner that you just got to watch out for, right? When you're talking to Republicans, that's what they're always worried about for some goddamn reason. And I find it fucking hilarious to a point. Like, it's not hilarious that they're going after people. That's not the funny part. The funny part is how goddamn dumb they are and how they expect everyone else to be scared of everything with them, right? I mean, every time I make a fucking argument on these videos, back especially when Trump first came into office and his MAGA dorks were running wild all over the internet, like, they would always like try to like accuse me of being transgender for arguing against what they were saying. And it was like the argument equivalent of, oh yeah, Josh, if you're so right about everything, then show me your balls, boy. And it's like, I mean, if that's what you really want, I'll slap the motherfuckers right across your forehead with your consent, of course, if that's what you really fucking want from me. But I don't see how that makes my argument more or less valid. That doesn't make a bit of sense, right? But they're on this kick about the WNBA right now. Have you guys heard this shit? Fox News is going crazy about the WNBA, and I almost said what's going on in the WNBA, but they're not the ones that are causing the problem. It's a bunch of dipshits in America that are causing a problem. But Fox News has lost their ever-loving minds, my friends. Can you believe it? And it is like genital mania over on Fox News right now, as that's all they've got to talk about. Because what has happened, from my understanding, is that two washed out retired NBA players that are desperate for fucking attention and can't figure out why the whole world doesn't have all their eyes on them right now, have decided that they are going to test the boundaries of the WNBA transgender policy, right? And two guys out of fucking nowhere just decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna declare for the NBA, the WNBA I meant. Two dudes, two retired NBA basketball players said, I'm gonna declare for the WNBA because their reasoning is that the WNBA hasn't clearly defined a transgender policy, so that gives them all the right in the world to declare for the draft. It's fucking bizarre. It's super strange, right? And I think that the reason, I mean, if I were to guess at why the WNBA doesn't have a clear and concise policy on the entire thing, one, because it hasn't really come up until these two jackasses decided to make it a fucking issue, but also because it's probably a bigger gray area than a lot of us realize. That's why I said we should leave it up to doctors and science to really nail this whole thing down and figure out what's going on. And before anyone gets mad, I had somebody yell at me once that said, we're not here to be figured out, god damn it, we're not some lab rats. And that's not what I mean. But what if we all had a better understanding of the entire situation through science, through all kinds of things, and then that gives us on this side more ammo to respond to these dipshits when they're going off on their stupid ignorant bullshit, right? I mean, that's all I'm trying to say with that. But anyways, the reason I think is because it's never like been tested. Like, no one really gave a shit to do it, right? And then these two goofball ass retired NBA players decided that they were going to declare for the WNBA draft because there's no clear-cut policy. So according to them and their feeble fucking brains, that means that that they must be eligible for the WNBA draft. And I mean, fuck it, I don't care. Like, who gives a shit? If you're like, if you want to declare for the WNBA draft, I mean, that doesn't mean you're getting on a team. That doesn't mean anyone's drafting you. What the fuck are you exactly trying to prove? I don't get it. I have absolutely no idea. But that's what they're doing right now. You can imagine that Fox News has lost their fucking minds over this entire thing. Oh, it's so embarrassing over there on Fox News. It's a horrifying thing that we have to listen to as they go on about the two guys that have declared for the WNBA, and they go, and you see, this is the America that the left wants. The left isn't doing a goddamn thing. We're over here minding our business. We're trying to organize. We're trying to focus on the upcoming elections. It was two ignorant assholes on your side that went over there and did the fucking thing. It's you. This is on you, assholes, right? And this is what the right always fucking does, is they go do the stupid shit, and then they look at us and they go, this is the America that the left wants. Oh yeah? Could these two attention whores, these retired NBA players that are so upset that the world isn't paying attention to them right now, could they fucking not? Is that an option? Could they maybe stop stoking these flames for no reason whatsoever? It doesn't make sense to me, besides they're bigoted, hateful assholes that now want to aid in the targeting of the transgender community in the United States. What point do they think they're fucking proving? I don't get it, my friends. It's absolutely bizarre. I kind of forgot what I was saying. I got a little bit distracted there in my rage towards these assholes. Anyways, the Fox News is losing it over this entire situation. They are 100% trying to blame us for something that we're not even involved in. They're saying it's the future, the America that the left wants. And in the meantime, they're the ones creating an issue that now they are demanding that we solve. Does that sound fucking familiar to anyone else? Here goes the right-wing lunatics again, creating an issue that wasn't an issue last week. No one even, it never occurred to any of us on the left, like, oh, we really should test the transgender policy of the WNBA because we got shit going on in our lives. You guys got fuck all going on if that's the shit that bothers you, that's what you're coming up with. We're trying to figure out how to pay the bills and put food on the table, put diesel in the goddamn semi-truck so we can still keep supplying America's supply chain. God damn it, the last thing I'm fucking concerned about is who has what genitals in a professional sports league that would probably just establish the rule book as they go. That's how it works. But you don't hear about this when fucking that's how sports work, is what I'm trying to tell you, right? Every year the NFL, all the owners of the teams meet and they work with like a rules committee and they reevaluate the rule book and they introduce new rules into the fucking rule book of the NFL every year. I'm not a basketball fan, but I bet it's pretty fucking similar, right? So why is it that these fucking chuckle fucks over here are making a big deal out of a rule that hasn't needed to be figured out yet and trying to force the issue of you haven't fucking done it, you haven't established the rule, and we demand fucking answers? But they don't treat football the same fucking way. They don't treat the NBA the same fucking way. Well, hell, my friends, we just figured out it's even more bigotry coming out from these sons of bitches, because as far as I can tell, the WNBA is actually making waves right now. Like, people are paying attention, people are watching, and people are enjoying it. And I think that's really what's pissing these people off. It almost has nothing to do with transgender. I think that transgender is the scapegoat to try to smear the name of the WNBA, because heaven forbid a women's league in this country does fucking well. So now they're just going to try to terrorize the WNBA and say that they're a bunch of transgender liberals that just want to fucking make you read books and do sex changes in schools, for God's sakes. And it's a whole fucking narrative that they just made up. If these people are really that passionate about the rule book every year being revised in professional sports leagues, there's more productive ways to participate in it than being a hateful fucking prick that's just starting shit for no reason. This doesn't need to happen. Leave people the fuck alone. And the point I'm making with all of this, my friends, I got a few proud things I want to talk to you about, so stick with me for just a couple more minutes, because I'm very proud of an accomplishment that happened right here in this video too. So give me just a fucking second. Right now, Fox News is going to lean heavily into this culture war with the WNBA. And it's just another bullshit thing to get you distracted from what's really going on in this country. And we need to remember going forward, for one, leave transgender people the fuck alone. Are you shitting me? They're people. They have the same rights and freedoms that every American is promised in this fucking country. Knock your shit off, right? But it's just all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And they're going to lean into this again, this old playbook of worrying about everybody's genitals, all right? And one other thing I want to tell you guys about that I'm very proud of in this video, and I'm hoping that you noticed. Did you notice? I made it all the way through the video without coughing a single time. Yesterday, a commenter changed my fucking life. I'm going to tell you how. And I hope that commenter hears this part of the video, because they said something to me that was life-changing. And I'm not saying that I'm out of the woods yet, and I'll never cough on screen again or have to clear my throat or anything like that. But he said that that when he was a kid, he had a persistent cough also. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, then stop coughing. And they said it actually worked. It actually fixed the whole thing up. And I've been telling you guys for a long time that this coughing thing I do, I believe, is all in my head. It's a nervous reflex, like a reaction, because I truly am nervous when I do these videos. It's hard to do these unscripted and with so many people watching, and knowing that you could misspeak at any minute and somebody in the comment section is going to obliterate you just for daring to misspeak. I get very nervous doing these videos, right? And I noticed that I have a habit of clearing my throat constantly as sort of a nervous reaction to that. And yesterday I spent my day reading about how to better take care of your vocal cords, and reading about the actual destruction you do to your vocal cords with constant throat clearing. And I've made a conscious effort to like take care of that part a little bit better. You know, I've got a couple things around here, drinking water, for example, but also I read up on alternate methods. And I know you guys don't care to hear all this, it's kind of gross, but thanks for the help. I appreciate it. I just did a whole video without a single cough, and I haven't done that in like a fucking year. Drinking water and different ways of kind of clearing the blockages without doing like clearing your throat that fucking causes more and more damage and causes this endless cycle of coughing and clearing your throat and doing it over and over and over again. And that one person's comment actually changed my whole approach to fucking everything. So whoever left that comment that said just quit coughing, and you weren't being sarcastic, you were actually giving me advice, fucking nailed it, bro. Thank you so much. I still got a long ways to go because it hurts a little bit right now, but we made some fucking progress. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Anyways, 25 minutes. I better get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.